Hey, what's up everyone? This is Snackbox. Hope you all are having an amazing day. Guys, we faced an opponent in Siege that is well known to us. This is the third time we're actually fighting each other in Siege. So this clan is not to be underestimated. Now this might be a little bit unfortunate situation for Monster because they lost 2 members apparently. So they only had like 28 members when we went into the siege, but still, regardless, they have very, very powerful accounts. As you can see, 141 million player power, 93, 75, and the list goes on. Okay, so definitely a very, very strong clan. And it also seems like this time they're not performing as well as they did last time. Last time it was really, really close. It came down to like 1 or 2 posts, but we still won. And this time we're pretty much dominating. So we are currently at 3,200 points and they are at 575. So yeah, we pretty much cleared out the stronghold, cleared out the mana shrine 2, defense tower 2, magic tower 2. So a lot of magic towers and 1 mana shrine as well as a defense tower. And they got pretty much stuck here, okay? They got pretty much stuck. They started trying to go this route on this Skinwalker post. They couldn't manage to do it. Then they tried to go, I think, on this post, on the Knights Revenant post, also weren't able to do it. And then on post 5, that's where they found success. And look at that, Solinar, which probably just countered this whole strategy here with Islin that, you know, would just pretty much not heal himself, right? So pretty interesting counter. Solinar definitely defeats Islin in those high elf posts. And then they went and defeated Defense Tower 1. Post 6. Took them like 2 tries. Post 12. This was a little bit tricky to them, probably because of Predator RNG. I mean, you cannot really know what's going to happen if he's just evading. There's nothing you can do, right? So there's a lot of RNG involved, and he's very strong for defenses like that, right? And you can see it right here on my defense. I actually moved my defense from Mana Shrine 2 to Magic Tower 1, and I found a lot of success here with my defense. I recently pulled Theodosia and I built my Predator, and they were really struggling with this defense. At first I thought they were tanking, but it seems like they genuinely tried to beat this defense, and in the end they got it done. And this guy right here, I think he did it on the first or second try actually. But man, I wasn't expecting that defense to perform that well. Yeah, they really had a hard time beating it. And I mean, they tried a couple of things, right? Like a lot of Crixias, nice, Tarichka even. You know, they tried a couple of things, but seems like nothing of it worked. And a lot of it ended after like half a minute or a minute. So yeah, I think if you look at those times, it really seems like they tried to beat this defense and weren't tanking. So yeah, I'm very proud of this defense, and Predator just proves to be an insanely strong champion. So after they beat this tower right here, they went on and tried to get through this Ogryn's team, but weren't successful yet. And I feel like they just got stuck now, and I don't know if they're going to keep trying. Last time, in the last hour, they did a lot of attacks and almost won also. So yeah, it really came down to like 1 attack or 1 post, but they couldn't manage it. And there's no way they will, you know, even get close to winning now. We are in a massive lead. They need to take down the stronghold, and they just lost too many fights on the way, right? So there's no way for them to win this at all. But again, like I said, this might be the weakest they have been when we faced them, and we faced them 3 times so far. The first time was already close. The second time was even closer, like very close. It came down to like 1 post, like I said. And this time, it's not even close. But still, very, very strong accounts and very powerful champions. Now let's go to the attack tab, and I can show you a lot of fights here. As you can see, our path was pretty much straightforward from post 2 to the stronghold, and then to the mana shrine 2, magic tower 2, defense tower 2, and from there it was pretty much a wrap. And when we realized they were kind of stuck or are losing a lot, we were able to slow it down a bit, right? So yeah, like I said, we started at post 2, and one thing that you will see across their map, they didn't really have a lot of conditions on their posts, which was kind of surprising to me. I don't know what that was about, but that was definitely a big mistake of them and made it a lot easier for us to beat their defenses. Now here the defense was Armans, Galeus, Carnage, and Vulcanos. I don't really like Armans in defenses, but it is what it is. Now here, Darksider just brought Ashnar, and that just, made Vulcanos kind of useless because the HP burn doesn't do anything. And from there, it's pretty much a wrap, right? You can just do whatever you want. You can boost, you can buff, and so on, and that's pretty much it. Moving on to post 8, this one had a condition: only defense champions can be used. And here Galeus was a key champion that can ignore block damage and pretty much counter Neve and the block damage of her. And that was pretty much straightforward. It took a lot of time, actually, 8 minutes and 50 seconds. So it seems like it was a little bit close. Might be because of UDK. I don't know exactly, but in the end, Maxi got it done, so GG's. And then we moved on to post 10, and that's actually pretty interesting. So Blood tried it the first time, as you can see, with Ancora, Harima, UDK, Narcissus, but couldn't manage to do it. I guess they just kept reviving, from what I know. And then he decided to swap out Harima for Lydia, so she blocks the revive, right? She denies it, kind of, and that way he was able to do it in 1 minute. So GG's. Very smart play right there. And then post 15, that's where I came into play, and I pretty much used the same team that I used on my defense, right? And this was very, very easy. I actually have it recorded, so let's take a look. All right, so there we go. This was my team, and yeah, basically I have a very high resistance team with Crixia, Galathir, and Theodosia, and then Predator that is just, very toxic with his evasion stuff. So very, very tanky build with a lot of control, a lot of lockout, and this is pretty much, what I did. Crixia resisted Fabian, locked them out, and from there it was pretty much a wrap. Now Predator just keeps surviving. I have 2 revivers. I have a 9-piece Mercurial Theodosia, which is also very hard to kill. And yeah, from there it was pretty much a wrap after I locked them out, right? Now all I had to do is basically block revive this. What is it called? Gaspard, I think. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Here Theodosia put the veil on him, so I wasn't really able to kill him straight away. But here now I had I could have block revived Theodosia here, actually, which I didn't do. That was a little mistake, but it was still fine. I didn't play this perfectly. Like, I could have ended it a little bit earlier, actually. But yeah, it still worked out, so doesn't really matter that much. A win is a win, right? But this just shows how crazy Predator actually is. I mean, as soon as he goes now, and I just block revived him to make sure I'm not proccing Neve's block damage, even though I would probably be able to remove it, but it is what it is. Just took a little bit longer, but there was really no way to lose this with this team. And yeah, this kind of gives you an idea what you would face if you would, attempt to beat my defense. This is pretty much my defense team, right? Then we moved on to Defense Tower 5. And here I got fight 2 that I can show you from Twin. So here we go. And yeah, this is why you really want to make sure that your defense is bomb proof, okay? Bombs are probably the most dangerous thing when it comes to defenses, because you kind of ignore the reflect. You ignore the reflect from the stronghold until you destroy the stronghold. So bombs are really the way to go if you can, all right? And this is a perfect example of why you should make your defense bomb-proof with Feral or Revivers that would ignore it, or with Mercurial or total guard stacks, or anything that would prevent you from losing to bombs. You should definitely implement it into your defense, or something like this happens and you just get steamrolled in like 16 seconds, right? So yeah, definitely keep that in mind when you build your defense teams. So yeah, we got rid of the defense tower 5 pretty quickly. Then we moved on to the stronghold, kept our momentum going. I got a couple fights here that I can show you. For this one right here with Xennial, let me actually pull that up, because there's something that is really really important here. As you can see, he went into this fight and none of these champions have stone skin or any protection, no shield, no total guard, nothing. Just, I don't know what sets, but this is definitely not the way you build a defense, because, what Xennial could have done here is just solo it with a Hegemon or a Cavalax without a problem, right? And there wouldn't be a way for the enemy team to survive. So this is definitely not the way you build a defense team. This is very basic, the basic rules. Use stone skin, use something for protection so you don't get, instantly one shot. And yeah, very, very unfortunate for this defense team, but there's nothing, no protection at all, and no way to win this defense. So yeah, 34 seconds and it was over. Then I can show you another one here from Lunatic. All right, here he used the Cavalax, Galatea, Crixia, and Garo, the rebalanced Garo. Very interesting. All right, here you can see it. I actually haven't watched it yet, so let's take a look what happens. So yeah, again, no stone skin at all. One total guard stack on Hill V, so it's a 4-piece set. And that was it. Oh, actually, there was stone skin. Never mind. My bad. But yeah, still, no stone skin on Shuzan. You can just counter it with Cavalax. The best, you should have at least Feral, so you can't get Cavalaxed. But yeah, this was also pretty much straightforward. Garo just one-shot the whole team and did so much damage. Yeah, the rebalance was actually pretty good. Then I got a video from Real Big Fish. He went in against Arbase, Sigfront, Gizmak, and Galatea. Seems like a stronger defense, right? A lot of 6-star souls, a lot of empowerments here. And he went in with Galatea, Resistance Aura, pretty interesting. Nell, Marius, and Ashnar. Ashnar pretty much made sure that Gizmak doesn't burn down the stone skin. So let's actually take a look. All right, so he went in. And they're probably just going to kill themselves with, poisons, because our base is boosting. Let me actually take a look again. So, okay, Sigfront is built with Feral, which is okay, right? You're kind of blocking bombs. But then at the same time, you should have Lightning Cage, so you can't just strip the block debuffs. But in this case, it doesn't really matter, because Nell is just ignoring the block debuffs buff, right? And yeah, seems like it was pretty much straightforward. Mercurial, Nell, Mercurial, Marius, pretty nasty, to be honest. But very effective and very hard to deal with. And yeah, I guess after everybody was dead, there's no coming back, right? Because when Galatea revives here, Nell will just put up poisons again and they will die instantly. There's no coming back from this, right? Nell just counters this revive. And as you can see, Sigfront actually survived because he has a block damage, and There's nothing to ignore the block damage, so that was actually pretty lucky from any enemy team, the defense, that the other two died. But Marius stunned Siegfried, with that Stormcaller proc, and Siegfried wasn't able to revive. But even if he was able to revive, they would have, he could have still just stripped the whole block damage with Galatier, and it would still be a wrap. So yeah, GG's to Real Big Fish. Then here on Group 3, in the same group, John went with a Melt team, which is pretty nasty. So yeah, for a team like this, to work, you need a team that is buffing a lot. Now, Nail is boosting a lot of turn meter when she places poisons. Galatier has a lot of buffs, but he swapped forms and wasn't buffing at all, so it was a little bit unfortunate. Also, he stripped the Stone Skin, so he won the 50-50, right? But then again, with Nail and Vulcanos, it is, it's a lot of dot damage once they start buffing. You have a poison here on Taras, which will absolutely kill him. And yeah, I think maybe he should have revived here. I'm not quite sure, but I think he should have revived here, even though it didn't really matter. Maybe he also wanted to save the revive, I guess, for now, right? But it didn't really matter. He didn't need to revive here since Taras still has a poison. So yeah, worked out perfectly fine. And yeah, they just killed themselves with buffs and turn meter boosting. Then we have Fabi here on Group 2 going against Galatier, Alaz, Galeas, and Marichka with this team right here. And I haven't watched it yet, so let's take a look. All right, so everybody's in Stone Skin, so that's a good thing. All right, he locked them out, stripped the Stone Skin of Marichka. Okay, he decided to put up the Stone Skin and the Veil. Also has a Mercurial Galatier, very interesting. Theodosia and Galatier. Very, very annoying. Alright, so he killed Marichka right there. As you can see, the Reflect was still active. Galeas almost killed himself, but didn't because he only damaged 2 champions. There was the HP balance from Theodosia. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But yeah, with Galeas and the revive on death. And Alas just killed himself on the reflect on Galeas. Very, very nasty. And now he just had to take down Galatier, which shouldn't be a problem at all, right? With Galeas, boom, decrease defense, and down. Awesome. Okay, now I got another attack from me right here at the bottom. Pretty much the last team with Marichka, Odin, Taras, and Nice. So let's have a look. So yeah, I like this team a lot. It's a lot of control, and then you have this very tanky Predator, right? HP based, a lot of HP, also this evasion stuff. And the most important part is the block revive. So here I decided to go with A2, kill everyone, kill Marichka. Now I put up the block buffs, so the block damage doesn't get up on those two. Nice swap forms, put up the block damage, and now, I was prepared for that point because, that's why I didn't use the block revive yet. I saved it for Nice, and you will see in a second. A3, boom, 178k damage, instantly block revived Nice, and from there it was pretty much a wrap. The HP of Taras is completely decreased, so he's not a threat at all anymore. He's completely destroyed from Predator's A2, and yeah. Now here on Group 1, I have a video of Darkhan, actually 2 videos. He stumbled a little bit here, as you can see, and failed the first attempt. So let's have a look. He pretty much went in with a Melt team, right? We have HP burn from Gizmak. We are ignoring block damage because of Stock's passive. We have Nail for the poisons. We have Krixia to lock out. So let's have a look. All right, 3 of them are locked out. I think he weak hit on Nail. Nail stripped down the stone skin from his Nail and Stock. Then he metamorphed and he was about to win the fight actually, but when he used the A2, he got polymorphed from Marichka, and that pretty much lost him the fight, right? That's pretty much what lost him the fight, and the sheep on Stock too, right? So 2 sheeps, very, very unfortunate. It is what it is. Sometimes, things don't go your way. RNG is always a factor. And yeah, from there, he pretty much lost it. Wasn't able to recover. Nail pretty much killed the other 2. And now, even if he would kill Marichka, the others would get revived, right? So there was no way to come back from this. And yeah. Now, on the second attempt, he tried the same thing, but then he got polymorphed with Krixia already and couldn't lock them out. And then he went in with this team. Yeah, pretty nuts with Nice and Joanne. Okay, so Fabian locked them out. Only Marichka not. I think Marichka resisted here. But with Nice and Joanne and Marichka, you have a lot of a lot of block damage, right? And there's nothing that ignores block damage in the enemy team. So, and yeah, Nail just can't ignore the block damage, right? With the poisons. So it's really good to use those champions here. And Nice barely survived with like 1 HP. And there we go. We got a lot of poisons now, but it doesn't matter because of the protected block damage. Joanne is doing a lot of damage as well. Killed Odin here. Marichka died. Revived Fabian. Fabian is kind of tanking here. A2 from Nice. Killed Nail. From here, you're kind of safe for a little bit, right? You don't get a lot of poisons. Taras is not really doing anything. And like I said, Fabian is kind of tanking. Then he decided to kill Taras, revive Fabian. And there we go, block damage again on Nice. And yeah, there's just no way for the enemy team to kill this team, right? So much block damage. Nice, an absolute beast. Joanne, an absolute beast. And then you have Fabian with a lot of control and Marichka with another block damage buff and heals and revives. And yeah, very well thought out and played. All right, so that were the fights in the stronghold that I got. And then we moved on to Defense Tower 2 right there. Okay, and here I have a video from Spartan, which attacked this team. Lysandra, Fabian, Commodus, and Marius. So he went in with Krixia, locked them out. Absolutely no problem. And from there, it's pretty much GG's. If Commodus tries to place bombs, we have block damage from Marichka. And they're locked out, right? So Fabian can't do anything. Marius will only use his A1. But he pretty much, won this in the first turn. And that was pretty much it. Big nuke from Galeus and done. Quick farm, 6 turns. After beating Defense Tower 2, post 16 was completely empty. Nothing in here. Very, very wild. And then I have a fight here from Brazen on Mana Shrine 2. Another time where they don't have any stone skin, no stone skin on Hilvi, nothing on Fabian. You could have just, killed them instantly with Cavalax or Hegemon, and it would have been an insta win pretty much, right? Nothing they can do. So he boosted with Galatier. Fabian took a turn, locked them out, but Taras just counterattacks. And yeah. The freeze procced. the HP burn as well. That's why we have the block damage now. But still, Hilvi and Tormin is kind of nasty. Marius just got completely countered here, counter-attacked. One shot. Marichka dies, revives everybody. Kind of a safety layer. And that's one thing that I don't like about Galatier. If he's using the A2 and he boosts the turn meter before he puts up the block debuff buff, and that sets you up to get frozen by Tormund's passive. And this was actually really, really close here, this fight. Yeah, this was very, very close. He almost lost this. But it turned out, to be a win in the end. But yeah, it was very, very close. Very, very close. As you can see, it was pretty much Taras against Tormund in the end. But he got it done. And with A1, that was it. Barely survived it. So yeah, he was a little bit too slow, I guess. And because Fabian went first, this kind of threw the whole thing off. But he got it done in the end. Win is a win. Another fight here from Graham with his Lizards. This is his favorite team. Let's have a look. So he went in with Sulfurion, which strips down the stone skin, absolutely no problem. Blocks the passive, and then block revive with Teox. And from there, it's pretty much a wrap. Nothing he can do, right? Like, he cannot revive, he can't bring them back, he can't win the fight anymore. And yeah, that was pretty much end of story. Now he just had to wait until the block damage runs out, and he would win the fight. And Predator gets the last shot. Boom. Pretty quick. Then another fight on the Banner Shrine 2. Here Ace went in with Galatier Embers. Nice and neck crit. So let's take a look at that. Very interesting team. Crixia goes first. Locks everybody out. There's a Gizmak, Elzarius in the enemy team. But I don't think it matters that much. Strips down one stone skin, puts block active skills on Crixia and Galatier. A1 on Crixia. Now Nice is swapping forms, but Embers is taking a turn before Nice. Nice died from the HP burn. But it don't matter because Embers just absolutely annihilated this team. A lot of damage. And now all he basically has to do is take down Galatier, and there's no revive, right? So that's pretty much a win. And there we go, block revived Galatier. Crixia dies from necrosis, and it was a wrap. All right, so eventually we got the Mana Shrine 2 down, and then we moved on to Magic Tower 4 as well. Took that down pretty quickly. As you can see, Fabi pretty much soloed this thing. And we have a video right here for this fight. This seems like one of the strongest accounts. 2 6-star Nice, +4 Gizmak. All of them have 6-star blessings with our base. Very, very strong champions. But absolutely no problem for Fabi, and there's a reason for it, okay? Now, this is probably a big mistake to not have Pharaoh on at least one of those Nice, because, he was just able to bomb it, okay? That was kind of like the problem here. They got stunned, and Galeos, just went in for the kill, okay? Both of them got stunned and bombed. They were low HPs, and Galeos just finished it up. Pretty quick farm. On the second team, he pretty much went in the same way, just with Neve instead of Cavalax. And he kind of did the same thing, just went with bombs. There's nothing to block the bombs. Just kills like 3 out of 4 instantly. And now he only needs to take a turn with Nice, and it's pretty much GG's and done. So yeah, everything went pretty well. We had a couple of You know, maybe like one or two issues where RNG played a factor or wasn't on our side. But other than that, this was a very, very smooth siege. They got stuck pretty quickly, and we didn't really face any huge problems or posts where we would get stuck. So it was pretty much straightforward. And yeah, very, very nice performance from us. But also, like I said, I have to mention that they are 2 members down, so this might not be the best shape Monster was in, right? So the last time we faced them, it was very, very close. But this time around, it's not. And yeah, shout out to my clan. Very nice performance. A lot of communication. And that, you know, showed here. All right. So yeah. Also, shout out to Monster. Hope you come back stronger next time, and we will have a closer fight. The last one was really exciting. Win number 42, still undefeated. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed, guys. Take care, and see you in the next one.